The May 19th, 2025 meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bartholomew McCoy.
Here.
Ms. Bartholomew McCoy is present. Chairman Baines is absent. Ms. Delvecchio Hoffman. Ms. Delvecchio Hoffman is present. Ms. Hasman. Ms. Hasman is present. Mr. Johns. Mr. Johns is present. Mr. McCabe. Mr. McCabe is present. Mr. Sinclair.
Here.
Mr. Sinclair is present. President Roman. President Roman is present.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, there is not.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Okay. On to presentations. Pat Gooch, Senior Planner for Monroe County's Planning and Development Department, will now give a brief overview of the 2026-2031 Capital Improvement Program as it pertains to the Recreation and Education Committee.
Thank you, Chairperson McCoy. You should all have a copy of the recommended 2026-2031 CIP. This report reflects the culmination of an 11-month process beginning in late summer, with departments proposing a 6-year funding plan for capital projects. A committee reviews the proposed projects and requires changes based on project priority and fiscal constraints on the program. After review by the county executive, the CIP is submitted to the county planning board. The planning board reviews the CIP, holds a public hearing, and sets priorities for the capital budget year, 2026, which is the first year of the CIP. The planning board recommends the CIP to the county executive, who then modifies the CIP if needed and submits the CIP to your honorable body. At the June meeting of the legislature, you will set a public hearing for July and then, upon your favorable review, vote to adopt the plan. There are no funding approvals associated with taking action on this referral. There are 4 sections of the CIP that I would like to highlight for this committee: Monroe Community College, the library, parks, and the zoo. Monroe Community College's funding plan, which begins on page 13, contains 9 projects, 2 of which are new: reorganized front drop-off and campus gateway improvements, both of which stem from the 2020 Facilities Master Plan and focus on upgrading the campus experience and navigation, including access for students and visitors using the Brighton campus. The MCC program accounts for less than 9% of the total 6-year capital program. Turning to the Monroe County Library System on page 25, the Monroe County Library System is an association of autonomous local public libraries working together to provide library services for residents of Monroe County. The library requests for capital projects are limited to system-wide services, such as maintaining the automation of library services and the trucks that carry books from one library to another. The library program is the second smallest department or division of the capital program at 0.25%. The 6-year program for county funding of the Parks Department begins on page 60. There are 14 parks projects in the CIP. One of these projects is new: Ellison Park Improvements, which is designed to mitigate the flooding impacts from high rain or water events that routinely affect several shelters in the park. The Parks program accounts for just over 2.5% of the recommended capital program. Lastly, the Seneca Park Zoo is a division of the Monroe County Parks Department. In the 2026-2031 CIP, the zoo has no new projects, but is funding for facilities and grounds maintenance, equipment purchase, and in 2031, funding for future rehabilitation and upgrades to exhibits. The Seneca Park Zoo accounts for just under 0.5% in the 2026-2031 CIP. I will be happy to take questions when you get to this item on your agenda. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Gooch. Just a point of clarification, the copy I received has page 22 for the library system. I know you mentioned page 25.
Apologies, that's a typo on my end.
No problem. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the March 24th, 2025 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk.
25-0156, authorize a contract with CNS Engineers, Inc. for professional design services for the MCC Downtown Campus Career Center project.
Move it.
Moved by legislator Hasman, seconded by President Roman. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Twenty-five 158. Adopt 2026 through 2031 capital improvement program.
Moved by legislator Hasman, seconded by legislator Roman. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Through the chair, were any projects in this portion of the CIP delayed, downsized, or canceled? And would you provide us a list if there were?
Through the chair, yes, we can provide you a list.
Thank you. And through the chair, are there any new projects added?
Through the chair, yes. So mentioned previously were the Department of Parks, Ellison Park Improvements, and then the MCC has 2 new projects added to the CIP for this committee.
Thank you. I yield.
Is there any other discussion? Yes, President Roman.
As mentioned, there was no new renovation of the park itself. I think just looking back, it doesn't appear that there needs to be renovation or the playground for the itself have happened in the MCA. The implementation of the master plan in 2008. I'm wondering if there was or will be an emphasis on the park and playground itself.
Do I need to ask that again?
Through the chair, we certainly note that the playground in the southern part of the Seneca Park could use some revitalization, and as such, recently remitted a grant through New York State for dollars to invest in the reconstruction of that playground and the playground just south of the Seneca Park the zoo parking lot. So certainly note the funding within the CIP is absent in Seneca Park, but the department as a whole is attempting to pursue additional dollars through the state of New York.
Thank you for that information and for remitting or submitting that grant. Just as an individual who frequents that park, loves the greenery, I have seen the deterioration of the playgrounds while we continue to invest in the inside zoo. I will love to help and support in any way for those grants because it will keep families there longer, keep them connected to our zoo, and really use that space for its intended purpose. So, thank you.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
25 0169. Authorize a contract with the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for the operation and maintenance of properties adjacent to Arundequoit Bay Park West.
Move it.
Moved by legislator Hasman, seconded by President Roman. Is there any discussion? Yes, legislator Sinclair.
Sorry. Through the chair, what's the purpose of the new agreement?
Through the chair, this would be extending an agreement that was in place for 40 years prior. And this would continue to add additional public water and recreational access to Arundecoit Bay, such as bird watching, fishing, and trail use.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item?
25-0189. Amend Resolution 329 of 2023 to accept additional grant funding from the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York. Amend the 2025 capital budget to increase funding for the project entitled Construction of a 9/11 First Responders Memorial at Highland Park.
Move
And-
it.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. And
Getting
amend
excited.
bond resolution 330 of 2023 to increase financing for the project.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Hasman enthusiastically and seconded by President Roman. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
25-0193. Authorize contracts with vendors for 2025 community festival support as a matter of importance.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Hasman, seconded by President Roman. Is there any discussion? Yes, legislator McCabe.
Thank you. Through the chair, why is this a matter of importance?
Through the chair, Brendan Fleming, Chief Deputy County Attorney. Planning only recently completed the selection process after the applications were received from prospective festival applicants. And to get the money out as quickly as practicable, it was deemed that referring it to your honorable body as a matter of importance would be prudent.
Thank you. As a follow-up through the chair to the administration, how were the festivals which will be receiving funding chosen, and why were these funded at such high amounts?
Through the chair, the festivals were selected for funding based on meeting requirements set forth in New York State County Law, Section 224, as outlined in the referral, and which I'll discuss in a moment, and additional criteria established by the county. As this body is familiar with New York State County Law, Section 224 establishes various categories of statutory eligibility for funding such as this, including events or festivals related to armistice, memorial, or other recognized national patriotic observances, events or festivals that commemorate historical events of countywide interest and concern, events or festivals that provide for the maintenance and operation of a professional symphony orchestra or philharmonic orchestra, or I'll paraphrase, musical festivals or other performing arts festivals, and events or festivals that publicize the advantages of the county. As in previous years, with this referral, the county established additional requirements related to the applicant festival's specific date, must be in 2025, location must be within Monroe County, size must reach in person 1,000 or more attendees, and cost, there must be a free component if the entire festival is not entirely free. And the free component must be a meaningfully free component.
I guess as a follow-up to that, thank you, is I guess why were these
Through the chair.
festivals in particular chosen and given higher dollar amounts through the chair to the administration and as opposed to the $20,000 minute amount? These other festivals were all selected to receive higher amounts. I guess my question is why were these festivals chosen as opposed to other festivals.
Through the chair. Um, The festivals were evaluated again based on those criteria and based on these enumerated festivals' reach, scope, and cost, and their proposals, the administration recommends to this honorable body awarding these amounts.
Okay, I yield.
Is there any other discussion? Yes, Legislator DeVecchio Hoffman.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you through the chair of the administration. These grants are a great way to get money into our community and the festivals. There's so many festivals on the list, not just the 4 that are coming for contract approval. And they add so much to our community, and I appreciate everyone who does the work every year to go through these and get that money out there.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Yes, Legislator Johns.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chairwoman, to the administration. Just 2 quick questions. Is the funding this year more or less or the same as last year?
Through the chair. We can get you the exact figures. My understanding is that it is incrementally more.
Okay. Through you, Madam Chairwoman, one more question to the administration. And as compared to last year, are there more festivals that are funded? And did any of the festivals that received money last year receive less this year?
Through the chair, we will get you the breakdown on the second part, legislator. To answer the first part of the question, yes, more festivals are receiving funding this year as compared to last year. In 2024, 26 festivals received funding. In 2025, subject to this honorable body's action on these matters, 43 are proposed to receive funding.
Okay, about 50% more.
Correct.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the May 19th, 2025 meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee will be held on Monday, June 23rd, 2025 at 6 p.m.